Be'ezrat Hashem. So, in the continuation of what we discussed in the last shiur, we're going to try to understand a little bit better also the structure of the tefillah, or the amidah. It will give us some depth. And then I want to go back to the a deeper layer of Zochenu Lechaim that we spoke about. So I think we spoke about the Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, right? Just to summarize, is that Mikoach, from the power of that name, right? Because essentially the Gevurah is judgment, right? It's din. Yitzhak is din. So din doesn't align with the words and the what we're asking for in the Amidah when we say Ata Gibor, right? We're asking for Rachamim, we're not asking for din, right? מחיים אתה רב להושע, מוריד הטל, מחלקי לחיים בחסד, מחיים איתי ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים. All these ברחמים רבים, we're asking a lot of rachamim, so it's not din. So how can we ask rachamim to din? It doesn't add up, right? You want rachamim asked by Yaakov, אתה קדוש, בשמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום ילדו חסלה, by Avraham chesed, but not by Ata Gibor, not by Yitzchak. So it's coming from the koach of the name of Hashem Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai. That name is the name that awakes within the din, the power of Rahamim. Is that the din itself, the din itself acts with his own Rahamim. It's not a different midah that comes in, and is that the din itself, we're asking from the din Chaim. We're asking from the din Rachamim. And by what zechut? By the zechut of the holiness of the name of the Rashi Tevot Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai. So it's very, very important to have this name Bekavana, say it, and we have to say that Gibor, right? We have to be careful to say where all the dagesh on the gimel, Ata Gibor. So actually, maybe it's the right place to discuss what I wanted to discuss it at the end, but maybe it's the right place to discuss it now. When we have din and we're asking for rachamim, right? It seems like Hashem is changing his mind, right? Is that possible? It doesn't make any sense, right? When we say have rachamim on us, when you say that to a judge or to a man who's angry, and you tell him, please have mercy, so you're changing his mood. It cannot be that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the same thing. Cannot be. So this brings us to something very, very fundamental. So it says in the Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, it says, Ad shelo nivra ha'olam haya HaKadosh Baruch Hu u'shmo ha'gadol bilvad. Before the world was created, all there was is Hashem and His name. That's it. Only Him and His name. What does that mean, His name? I don't know. But we're going to put that aside for the moment. Maybe later on we'll get to it. Then the idea came, the thought came to create the world. and he was making sketches. And the world didn't fit, it didn't stick. Until he created the teshuvah. The same concept, we see also that the Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world b'midat hadin. Ra'a she'en ha'olam mitkayem. You see that the world cannot sustain only with judgment. Tziref, he added the midat harachamim. He added mercy. So the mercy is the room where the teshuvah can actually kick in and trigger something that essentially can allow existence in a world of judgment without having the power of judgment strike too fast. So the foundation, the base is din, is judgment, and we see it. The rules of nature are very radical. They don't change, right? They don't change. Fire burns, water wets. It's very simple. It's like breaking the rules of nature is not something that nature appreciates, likes, or wants to do, right? And that's the definition of din. That's this rigidness in the rules and regulations of what is expected from creation. We see it in nature, but it applies also in behavior based on to the Torah. The Torah is called a din. The Torah is called din. Now, if the Torah is din, that means that when a person does something, there's a repercussion, right? Just like, think about it. A man puts his hand in fire. He's going to burn, right? The hand's going to burn. It doesn't matter how many tefillot you do, it's going to burn. So ma pitom, a man makes an avera, and suddenly you say tefillot, mechila, it should be different. Elama, what are we going to say? Tziref midat harachamim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu injected in creation a dimension that's called rachamim. But does that mean that he's chas v'shalom schizophrenic? One day din, one day rachamim. It doesn't fit that Hashem would change his mood. So what is it? So the Maharal in Netivot Olam brings an example, mashal. There's a king that gave a valuable utensil to a man, and he said, please keep it for me. Unfortunately, it wasn't the person's fault. The utensil broke. It broke. And the guy didn't know what to do. What am I going to do now? He feared the king. I'm going to go to the king. He gave you one thing. He told me one. He didn't tell me 10 things. One. Please take this, keep it, hold it for me. Even that he wasn't able to do. He broke. So he says, what am I going to do? Let me go see the Chacham.
1 minute, one second.
So he goes to the Chacham. He says, who am I going to do? I need a good advice. Let me go to the wise. He goes to the wise. He said, listen, this is a story. The Chacham said, listen, my friend, you're in trouble. I mean, the king gave you something. You know the king. You know his power, his rules. And you have to bring back the kli. You have to bring it back. Find a way. So, okay, that's the Chacham. Let me speak to someone that knows the king. Maybe maybe he goes to somebody close to the king, the same thing. The guy's like, oof, the king, if you do something that you go against the rules, it's betrayal. It's an insult. Especially if he gives you something to do personally. How can you do that? He's like, okay, let me go to the best craftsman in town. He takes the pieces, goes to the craftsman. He's like, listen, can you put it back together? He's like, listen, impossible. You can't put it back together. So the guy has no choice. He takes all the pieces, goes to the king and tells the king, listen, my master, my king, I didn't do it on purpose. I wasn't diligent enough, but I didn't do it. I didn't break it on purpose. Do with me whatever you want. The Midrash said, the Mashal, he says, go take those pieces, put them back the way you want, make it nice, bring it back to me, and I will accept it. I will take it. So what do we see? We see that when Chachamim give us that mashal, they're showing us, first of all, the behavior a person has to have regarding his sins and how he stained or broke his neshama, that Hashem gave it to him. Hashem gave you a neshama. It's yours. It's specific to you. Right? And the person does averot. He broke it. He stained it. He scratched it. So Chazal are coming to tell us this: the way to behave when you're about to see the king is to think. Chokhmah, go to the Chacham, go to somebody that knows the king. Find ways to fix it. You have to find ways to fix it. Eventually, you take your courage, you humble yourself, you understand that you messed up, and you bring the pieces to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's Teshuvah. You bring the pieces to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu will tell us? He's going to tell us, okay, make the best out of it, and I will accept it. He didn't say, I'll forgive you, I'll bend the rule, I'll buy another one. No. He says, fix it the way you can and bring it to me, and I will accept it. This is putting forward the dimension and the place of the Rachamim. The Rachamim is not coming to replace the Din. It's a parallel midah to the Din. When the Rachamim tell us Tziref, he added Rachamim to Din, he basically put Rachamim next to the Din parallel and intertwined them. It's like the DNA, right? You have two trains that go together. They follow each other. The question is, on which maslul, on which road are you on? Are you on the road of Din, or are you on the road of Rachamim? Now, the Torah is called Din. But Chachamim in the Gemara, when they talk about the Torah, they say Rahmana Amri. The Torah is also called Rahamim. This is how we see the power of the Torah. You can or bond to the Torah. You can trigger the Din of the Torah, or you can trigger the Rachamim of the Torah. This depends on what? On how honest, genuine you are with recognizing the impact and the collateral damages of your actions, and how honest you are to face HaKadosh Baruch Hu and say, listen, I messed up. But you know what? With whatever past I have, I want to build. Hashem tells us, Ani mekabel. I'll take it the way it is, and it will be for me something beautiful. In Sha'ar HaGemul, the Ramban also brings this inyan of teshuvah and breaking and put it back together, and the vase is more beautiful once it's put back because it's specific to your actions. This is what we choose when we say Zochenu leHayim. Basically, what we're saying, we're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu to put us on the maslul, to put us on the path of the rachamim of creation, not on the din of creation. So when we say Yoshev al Kisei Din, Hashem sits on the throne of din, because according to the Kabbalah, the throne of rachamim needs to be built. It needs to be built. We have to rebuild it through the tefillot, through the Aseret Yemei HaTeshuvah. Every day we rebuild. That's why we're going to see. We say for ubchen, each ubchen is it's a leg of the throne that we're rebuilding, so that HaKadosh Baruch Hu now has 4 legs. He has the kosai, he has the seat. Now he can stand up from din and sit on the rachamim, right? So we're basically building for ourselves the pathway to a life that is filled with rachamim over the de facto on Yom Adin, which is the path of din. Yes.
This is why first day is din and second rachamim, because we have to build the rachamim for the second day.
Exactly. But the first day is din kashe, the second din is din rafeh, is softer. Meaning, if you're not able to build the kisei, right? If you're not able to build the throne on the first day because the din is too tough, the second day HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, there's still din, but I'm atoning the din. Now build it, right? This is, if you will, the outlook, the approach that we must have on Rosh HaShana. We're not coming to ask nothing. We're coming to build a pathway for our entire year. That's why Chachamim say, Mezonatav shel Adam ktuvot mi Rosh Hashanah ad Rosh Hashanah. The parnasa, or the food and the livelihood of the person depends on Rosh Hashanah. Is it going to come from din? Is it going to come in a tough way, in a rigid way, or is it going to come soft, smooth, with abundance, with rachamim? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a shofar, right? So he basically told us how to bribe him, kivyachol, right? Essentially, that's what he told us. Okay? So Hashem is telling you he's telling us what to do, what to say, in order to get him to shift the path from din to rachamim. So what are we supposed to do? Our focus on Rosh Hashanah is none other, okay, that recognizing Hashem's din, right? What does that mean? Malchuyot, zichronot, veshofarot. It's basically telling HaKadosh Baruch Hu, yeah, it's true. Here I am. You're the king, and I'm all yours. Like, just like this guy, he takes his courage. He goes into Hashem and says, okay, this is the reality. Chatati, I feel terrible, but it's broken. It's broken. That's the reality. It will never be the same again. Every Rosh Hashanah, we're never the same person again. Nobody can say 2 Rosh Hashanah is the same person. It's impossible. So every day we come with a new broken neshama. Every Rosh Hashanah. Now, are we going to try to haki? Are we going to try to play around and be cute and think he's, we can play around with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? This is din. But if we come, just like the guy came, honest, humbled, and ready to change, that's how we trigger the rachamim. And how do we build it? What's the action? The action is tefillah, right? Except for the shofar that help HaKadosh Baruch Hu, confuses the Tzerara and makes HaKadosh Baruch Hu stand from one path to go to the second path. But the second path, who builds it? We build it through the tefillah. So the tefillah is the most essential, the most important part of Yom Kippur, of Rosh HaShana. This is why we have to be ready for the tefillah and understand what we're doing. If we do so, if we prepare the throne for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then the Tkiyat Shofar can shift, you know? It's like you tell somebody, please stand up, but there's no chair for you. Stand up. Wait, the chair is coming. Okay, it's coming. I'm standing up. I'm willing to do, but where am I sitting? That's the person that makes the tefillah, doesn't know what he's saying, doesn't know what he's doing. Because who wants to give you, okay, feels your heart, you came, you feel bad. But where's the chair? If you make a chair and there's 3 legs instead of 4, it's you understand? But if you make a beautiful throne, just like the one he was sitting on, or even nicer, with tahanunim, with bakashot, with seriousness, kavanot, when the king says, like, wow, this is comfortable. This is so good. Come, let me give you. So the giving, the will to shower rachamim, we get it. We get it through the Tkiyat Shofar. How he translates it translates itself practically, individually with each individual. It will depend on his tefillah and how he builds a makom for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to sit for the rachamim.
So in Rosh Hashanah, we are not supposed to add and ask. Because what are we going to ask? We are coming and say, I messed up. And on top of it, that you messed up, you ask for something. Like,
Nachon, we don't
wouldn't
ask.
Be correct.
We don't ask. We focus on what Chachamim gave us, told us, and we will see that in the formula that the Chachamim put together in our tefillah, we basically ask for everything that we need. So, and that's kind of again, it's completing. It's another layer of depth in what we discussed in Zochenu Lechaim.
In Ata Givor, we have to think of the letters.
Yes.
Aleph, okay.
Yes, you don't say it in your words. You just look. You just think about. You have to think about that name, and you basically, when you say it, Ata is the Chokhmah. Ata is the Chokhmah. Gibor is the Gevurah. Le'olam, okay, is the Sefirot. Amonai, Adnut is the Malchut. So we're taking the Chokhmah, we're taking the abundance of Rachamim and Chesed from the Chokhmah. We're bringing it to all the way to the Malchut, okay? Okay? The Zohar brings a Nusach with a Yud Gimel Aleph Lamed. Yud Gimel Lamed Aleph. Normally is Aleph Gimel Lamed Aleph. He brings it also in Nusach with Yud Gimel Lamed Aleph. The Yud representing the Chokhmah. Yud is Chokhmah in Yud Kevavke, right? But it's the same thing. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai. So I infuse from the abundance of the Chokhmah, the Chasadim of the Chokhmah that I got from Magen Avraham, all the way to Adnut, which is the Malchut, okay? And now that it's filled, right? Now that it's strong, it's complete, I can start infusing from that, right? The Ima, the Bina, which is the Gvura. So,
okay.
from that koach, right? I'm telling the ima, I'm telling the bina, right? I'm telling the gvura, it's true you're gibor, but you have rachamim with you also. It's parallel. So choose the path of chachamim, choose the path of chesed, choose the path of abundance. They might say we do that every day, but on Rosh HaShana, it's the core essence of the avodah.
Wow. Baruch Hashem. Thank you.
Continue?
Yeah, whatever you say.
No, you tell me if you need to go over. No, we can
No.
continue on. Then we start and we say, so now that that's it. We completed that subject, that inyan of Zochenu L'Chaim, etc. And now we have an understanding of what is expected from us in the Amidah. Now we're going to start building the 4 legs of the throne. Now, if I ask you a question, what is the biggest kavod you can give to a king? What's his biggest accomplishment? Like, if a king wants to be the most successful and recognized king of all, what is it? What should he accomplish?
That his people serve him with what he wants.
Yes, but it's narrow.
Okay.
A king, think about it. You're right. The king personally, he's right. But a king, his real accomplishment is if his legacy, his kingdom stays forever. No overthrown, no change of politics. It stays. It stays. It just keeps on going. It keeps on going. That's the biggest. If a king knows, if we come to the king and say, listen, we can secure that you stay king forever. The king is, that's it. He's like, he knows, okay, do A, B, C, D, E. For sure he's going to do it. Right? Nachon?
Yes, the same as people. We would like that our legacy continues
forever. So the Chachamim introduced in Ata Kadosh the Kadosh. Now look how beautiful. It's a little bit al pi Kabbalah, but it's beautiful. We have Magen Avraham is Chesed. Mechayei Ametim is Gevurah. Right? Ata Kadosh is Tiferet. So, what, we're good?
Repeat, sorry.
So, look, it's important because you're going to see that the structure of the Amidah, okay, is parallel to the Seder of the Tkiot. It's important to all year long we say Magen Avraham Chesed, right? It's Abba Chesed. Mechaya Metim Ima Gvura, right? So you have Magen Avraham, it's Avraham. Mechaya Metim, it's Yitzchak, Gevura, Din, right? Okay. Akel HaKadosh is Yaakov Avinu, is Tiferet. Good? Now, that's all year long. Rosh HaShana, Chachamim opened up Ata Kadosh with a lot of ufchen, 4 ufchen, right? We're good? Why is that? Because Chazal understood that what is the Seder Avodah? What are we supposed to build? We say we have to build the Kiseh of Rachamim, right? The Rachamim, what is the Rachamim in the Sfirot?
In Chesed.
No, Chesed is Chesed.
No, in the middle.
Which is
Tiferet. Tiferet, sorry.
It's the Tiferet. So we have, in which part of the Tefillah we have to build the throne?
Akel HaKadosh.
In Akel HaKadosh. That's why we say, Ata HaKadosh. And then before we finish Amelech HaKadosh, right? We start with an introduction of a new nusach, something we never say during the whole week. לדור ודור המליכו לקל, כי הוא לבדו מרום וקדוש. Chazal is to say, לדור ודור המליכו לקל. We praise, we proclaim for all the generations, המליכו לקל, glorify the royalty of Hashem. Because him alone, Marom Vekadosh, is elevated, is holy, he's the only one. So, in the Amidah, essentially, this is for the Shaliach Tzibur to tell all the Kahal, Rabotai, Ledor Vador Amlichu Lakel, right? Normally it's for the Shaliach Tzibur. But when the Yahid say the Tefillah, he's basically screaming out from within him his own neshama, ledor vador, everybody, everybody that's in me, the different me that are in me, the me that in different situations are in me, my descendants, ledor vador amlichu lakel. This is my responsibility. This is what I believe in. This is who Hashem is for me. It's not just a king in a point of time. It's the king throughout time that surpasses and beats time. This is the praise and shevach that we tell HaKadosh Baruch. That's how we start. That's how we start to set the floor to put the throne or to build the throne on. Okay, so that's the floor where we're going to build the throne. And then, good? Then we have 4 uvchen. 4. You should know, a small parenthesis, there's a big machloket if it should be 3 or 4. There's 2 places in the Zohar, one that says 3, one that says 4. Some Chachamim say you should only say 3 and not add anything else, because it's Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. And others says no, you need 4. What is the machloket between the two? Does the malchut, the 4th leg, is it something you need to build, or it's something that is built once the 3 are already built? According to the Ari Kadosh, according to our nusach in the Tefillah, we have 4. Okay? So, good. So, we praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu that he is beyond time. His kingdom and his royalty is beyond time, right? And we project ourselves to the time where the world will be metukan, completely metukan, completely fixed, which is when Tchiyat HaMetim, when Mashiach will come. Nachon? And this is what we crave for. So we tell the king, you're the king of all kings, you will. And this is what we want, right? We're there, we're projecting ourselves. Because the only way you can actually praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu for being beyond the time, the king of all kings against time, is if you can project yourself of who he is by Mashiach. If not, it's just a goodwill. It's just okay. It's a good thought. Like any guy that can tell you, oh, you'll live 1,000 years. Okay, we know you don't live 1,000 years. So the only way we can tap into that dimension of HaKadosh Baruch Hu as a king beyond the vector of time is if we're able to project ourselves to the point where he's the king after the tikkun of the world.
Okay. So now parentheses, we need to understand how, like, I get it. We have to, like, in the end, that's the end of the word. So now, okay, we have to project us in that moment.
That's right. That's right.
And that we are panim, or so what should we think of that moment?
Opa! Those are the four legs. Those are the four ubchen. Exactly.
Because for me, it's like I cannot even think.
We don't need to imagine. Chachamim put the words in our mouth. Let's see. And only then, and through that power, can I now take what I need to build the throne of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is a throne that is fighting, that wins time, okay, today. So I'm being the throne today based on who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is really as a king in the global, okay, picture of time, of creation. Clear?
Spectacular. It's like going huge.
And now that we have this, now we build. That's why I said this is the shetach. This is the floor where we can start building the kiseh of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the throne of HaKadosh Baruch Hu of Rachamim. So like we said, we have four ubchen. Now, I will give an introduction so that we can apply what we're going to say in this introduction throughout the four ubchen. The name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that represent Chasadim Gmurim, right, is Av, right? Chesed is 72, is Yud Ke Vav Ke in Milui with Yudim. You know that, yes? Yud Vav Dalet, He Yud, Vav Yud Vav, He Yud. Gematria 72, right? Which is Chesed, which is also the name of the world of Atzilut. Correct? Which is the world we actually are in the Amidah. Ubchen, the word Bechen is 72. Bet is 2, Chaf is 20, Nun is 70. 72. Now, we are going, and it's important that we are going to tap into the power of the Shem Av, the 72 names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, based on 3 letters of the 3 Pesukim. We saw it, by Isa, Avo, Bayet. So we're tapping into that abundance, that source of abundance in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, through the name Av, Yud Ke Vav Ke. And now we're going to build, you're going to see how you have the Av Shemot of the 3 psukim, the 72 names of 3 letters. Okay? 72 times 3 is Rayo, right? Is 216, if you remember, which are the 216 letters, okay, of the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now,
1 second. Sí, ¿por qué?
And now we're going to apply we're going to pull out, if you will. We're connecting to that name, to the 72 names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the Rayon. Okay? In our level, we don't have to look at the names. We will see that there are key names that we need to look at, to think of when each time we say Ufchen, and that, it's like one includes like it's divided in three. So like one includes like 26, 26, 26. It's not 26, but anyways, it's 8 and 8.
For me, I think enough. We think enough.
So the first Ubchen, now, one second, I'm still in the introduction. So we know that there's four ways of writing the name, of Hashem. Av, Sag, Mabben, right? Yud Ke Vav Ke with all Yuds. Yud Ke Vav Ke with an Aleph in the Vav. So it's Yud, Vav, Dalet, He Yud, Vav, Aleph, Vav, He Yud, Sag, which is the world. So the Yud Ke Vav Ke with Yudin is Atzilut. Sag is Bri'ah. Ma is Yud, Vav, Dalet, He Aleph, Vav, Aleph, Vav, He Aleph, the Alfin, right? Which is 45. And then Ben. Ben is Yud Vav Dalet He He Vav Vav He He, which is the Olam Asiyah. Right? Now watch. If you take this the Sag, okay? The second name is 63. And there's 10 letters in the Yud Ke Vav Ke. Yud Vav Dalet, He Yud, Vav Aleph Vav, He Yud. So 10 letters plus 63 of the name is 73, which is Av with the Kolel. So it's a different version of Av, of Ubchen. So we have the first Ubchen, which is the regular Yud Ke Vav Ke with Yud. We have the second Ubchen, which is Yud Ke Vav Ke of Sag with the 10 letters. Good. So now we have Av, Sag, that basically also has the Gematria Bechen, right, with the Kolel. Ma is 45, right? Yud Ke Vav Dalet, He Aleph, Vav Aleph, Vav, He Aleph. So if you take with the Havaya, so 45 plus 26, you're 71, right? With the Kolel, 72. So you fall back into Bechen. And Ben, if you do Yud He, Vav, Yud He, Vav Ke, you get to Gematria also 72. Good? So those are the four names that connect to the Av Shem that we tap into in order to build, in each case, in each Ubchen, a leg. Now, if you take the Vav of Ubechen, so it's 72 plus 6 is 78. 78 is Gematria Mazala, the Mazal. So we're building our Mazal for the year. We're impacting, influencing our Mazal of the year based on the legs that we are putting together for HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Yom Adin. So what we're doing, we have the mazal and we're infusing it in each leg so that in all circumstances, the 4 types of Chaim, the 4 types of challenges, right? The mazal is infused with Av, with the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with the Rachamim and the Chesed of Hashem. Very deep, very, very deep. It's beautiful, actually. Maybe we stop here so that Be'ezrat Hashem, next year we do the 4 Ubchen, if we can. So it's not too long.
Perfect.
Be'ezrat Hashem. Amen.